On the 23rd of June, 2001, Artis White took his wife Bernita and their 5-year-old daughter, Michaela, to the picnic area right outside the Potter Park Zoo. After a while, Michaela wanted to leave the picnic area and go inside the zoo with her friends. Bernita and Artis argued together and decided that one of them should go pick up their 7-year-old daughter, Alana, who was at a different city park, so she could enjoy the zoo with Michaela too. Artis got in the van and left Potter Park to go get Alana. Bernita and Michaela were walking from the picnic area to the zoo entrance when, shortly after 3 p.m., a loud gunshot was heard throughout the park. Lying on the sidewalk was Bernita White. A bullet had hit her in the left arm, pierced her heart, then exited out of the right side of her body, killing her instantly. She was killed in front of her daughter. The police immediately arrived to the scene and evacuated the area because they thought there was an active shooter. The next day, investigators and K9 dogs searched the park for evidence. They meticulously searched everywhere for the bullet that killed Bernita, though they were never able to find it. 2 days later, the police determined that the shot came from a high-powered rifle, north of the park, about 100 yards away. At first, the police suspected Artis White, who was a detective sergeant for the Michigan State Police by the way, because the couple were in the process of getting divorced. Jonathan Preby, a detective that was involved in the case, said, "Did somebody just fire a round in the air, half a mile away? Was it a gang initiation, a serial sniper murder?" All those were looked into seriously and disproven. The only person they could find with a possible motive was Artis. Since Artis had left the park just minutes before Bernita was killed and knew where she would be walking, police figured he had an opportunity to get in position to make the shot. They also theorized that maybe he paid a hitman to do the job instead of him. After a lengthy and extensive investigation, the police weren't able to convict Artis due to the lack of evidence against him. Also, it was concluded that Artis had a solid alibi. For 2 decades, Artis has maintained that he is innocent in front of the public and criticized the police in his book, Who Killed My Wife?, for doing a poor job at investigating his wife's murder. In the book, Artis details how he felt like the investigation was conducted poorly. He says that the Michigan State Police and Lansing Police spent too much time arguing over jurisdiction during the first 48 hours, the most critical time of an investigation, when they could have been gathering key evidence. Besides that, they never tested him for gunpowder residue on his arms and hands. It has been 2 decades since Bernita White was murdered at the Potter Park Zoo, and the case still remains unsolved. On the 10th of September, 2021, at around 3:30 p.m., 29-year-old Jason Cortez was walking on a hiking trail at the Montecito Heights Park. Cortez was unexpectedly shot in the back with a sniper rifle. He collapsed to the ground and was immediately rushed to a nearby hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The police believes that the perpetrator was possibly 75 to 100 feet away from Cortez when they fired the shot. The perpetrator is described as male, anywhere between 20 to 30 years old, and anywhere between 5 feet 9 inches to 5 feet 11 inches tall. He was also wearing a blue hoodie at the time of the murder. Family and friends of Cortez described Cortez as a creative person who was passionate about making music and editing videos. Cortez had flown to the city the previous day and was working on a project with a friend when he was senselessly sniped for no apparent reason. Detective Alex Abundis said, "This is another representation of just another senseless killing. There is no reason, there is no motive behind this." Cortez's wife, Corina Solorzano, said that Cortez was her first boyfriend, and that he was an amazing son, brother, and loyal friend. It has been almost a year and a half since Cortez was killed at the Montecito Heights Park, and the case still remains unsolved. On the evening of December 22, 1981, Rhonda Hinson was attending a Christmas party at the American Legion Hut in Hickory. After leaving the party around midnight, she stopped by a friend's house to pick up her vehicle and call her boyfriend. After leaving the friend's residence, Rhonda drove her beige that sun west on Interstate 40 and exited onto the Mineral Springs Highway 350 off-ramp. She turned right and began driving up a steep hill toward her home, when suddenly she was struck in the back by a high-powered rifle bullet that pierced both her heart and lung. Rhonda was later found lying in a ditch beside the open driver's door of her car. She was shot less than a mile from her home. The medical professionals who examined her body said that she would have been rendered incapacitated after being shot, yet her body was found lying outside the vehicle. Did the perpetrator pull her body from the car? Did Rhonda know the perpetrator? Was she randomly targeted? Was this a case of mistaken identity? Throughout the years, hundreds of people were interviewed by the investigators. The crime scene and evidence have been analyzed and reanalyzed. Yet Rhonda's death and the strange circumstances around it remains a complete mystery to this day. Jason Ellis was a young police officer from Bardstown, Kentucky, who joined the force in 2006. Ellis usually worked the night shift with his K-9 partner, Figo, who spent most of their time taking drugs off the street. On the 25th of May, 2013, Jason completed an arrest of an unidentified individual and brought them to the Bardstown jail. After that, he signed off for the night and left the police station to go to his home. When Jason approached the exit 34 ramp of the Bluegrass Parkway, he noticed several tree branches obstructing the road. Fearing for the safety of the public, Jason got out of his car to move the branches. As he was moving the branches, he would be fatally shot multiple times by a sniper rifle. A few minutes later, two passers-by discovered Jason Ellis's unconscious body and immediately called an ambulance. Jason was later pronounced dead on the scene. After an extensive investigation, the police revealed that this was a premeditated ambush. The sniper intentionally placed the tree branches on the road and then situated themselves on a nearby hill. However, it's unclear whether the murder was random or not. Did the sniper know personal details about Jason Ellis and chose to target him in particular by ambushing him after his work shift, or did the sniper target random drivers on the road? No suspect has ever been publicly named, and Jason's case still remains unsolved to this day. May all the victims of these senseless sniper attacks rest in peace. If you enjoyed this video, then maybe consider subscribing to this channel, because I upload videos like this on a regular basis. Also, don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you for watching.